Hello and welcome to the show. I am back on Car Mechanic Simulator. Today we are finishing off the budget rebuild of the Honda S800. We have got about $15,000 left of our $20,000 budget to try and get this car as restored as we possibly can and hopefully make a profit. Now, we're not going to be able to, I don't think, do everything because there is a couple of big things that I want to get done. I want to have the car at least looking complete. I want to have all of the bodywork on the vehicle. I'm not actually quite sure what bits I do and don't have. And these are bits that are going to be expensive. Oh, okay, we've got one number plate. I say are going to be expensive. These are bits that can be expensive. So, well, we haven't spent too much money on... Do we have a single headlight? No, we don't. Well, I haven't spent too much money so far on the engine. We don't have either of the doors. We don't have either of the headlights. We don't have a... Okay, let's do bodywork first. So we need front bumper. We need both front doors. We need both doors. Did we get window? Don't think we did. Left headlight, right headlight. We do need a mirror. We do need a rear bumper. Let's get the window as well. I forgot which side. I think it was a left-hand side thing that we needed. Left-hand tail light. There we go. I know English words. Right, rear bumper we have got as well. So we need a left side tail light. Left tail light. Yeah, that's eaten up quite a lot of the old money. The other thing that might start eating away at the money is the wheels and the tyres. Now, what I want to do first of all with this restoration is get the rear diff out of the vehicle. Now, quite a few people commented on the last video, and it's something that I am curious to see, is if we've got a completely ruined rear diff, is that why the car is struggling to put power down? Now, that makes sense to me. If that rear diff is complete mush in there, doesn't matter how good the engine is, the car is not going to be able to use any of the power. So I'm curious to find out if that is something that is modelled, something that is simulated, if you like, with this game. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take off all of these bits and pieces. Hopefully that whole rear axle bit will be repairable. If it isn't repairable, it's going to be a real big... I mean, even if it is repairable, it's going to be a fairly sizable expense. But, yeah, also, of course, the drive shaft itself was utterly knackered when we pulled it off as well. That probably won't have helped matters. I mean, you know, brakes and so on are important, but the speed that this car was going, I mean, you could pretty much stick your foot out and get the vehicle slowed down. That was how terribly slow it was. So if we can repair them while we're here, that's great. We're going to end up focusing more on the back of the car. And as I said with the bodywork, I do want to get you know, wheels and tyres looking, at least have the car visually looking on the good side, or, you know, good condition, even if maybe the front front might be pretty buggered. Let's get all of these out, because again, like these solid drive axles as well could be ruined beyond use. Okay, and of course we're going to take the drive shaft off from here. Let's drop that rear whole axle bit. It's not telling me what condition parts are coming off in, which is peculiar, but there we go. That is out of there. Right. Repair bench. Oh, thank God, it is repairable. Whether we'll be able to repair it or not, I do not know. Now, we might as well get all of this stuff here repaired. I really want that to be 100%. There we go. Good. We will just now go through and hope. I don't think there was too much of this. Oh, pretty... Didn't break a single bit in all of that. We've still got a fair amount of money hanging around. Excellent. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse if that axle had been, if the whole rear axle had been buggered, then we would have been more expense really. That should hopefully give us some better performance. And in actual fact, while we are going to need to buy a couple of bits, I mean, we're going to end up bloody 100% restoring this car without meaning to at the rate we're going. We've got leaf spring plates. We've got all of the U-bolts worked. I guess it does kind of help that the car that I've gone for here certainly the back is incredibly simple suspension. Oh, we've got one rubber bushing, so we're going to need 3 of the smaller rubber bushings. Back to the main shop. 3 more of these. Pretty sure we needed a wheel hub 4. Wheel hub 4, we needed that for the other side. I can't remember the rest of the bits that we needed over there. So we then go and stick somewhere over there. That will go maybe on there. Perfect. My fear is actually about the wheels and tyres being expensive. Of course, I've got to think that while, yes, they will be an expense, this has got very small and quite old tyres on the car. So, yeah, while it is going to cost me some money, it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as the tyres, for example, on the Shelby Daytona. The tyres that went on that were 4 or 5 grand, which, yeah, is a fair bit. If I was doing a budget build, of course, with the Daytona, I'm not going to be doing a budget build. So, we might not be too bad. Typical me saying, no, we were going to try and challenge ourselves. How little money is it going to take to get this car back to that 100% condition? I thought 20,000 was going to be a silly goal, but I didn't think it was going to be something that I could get everything fixed on. I guess it helps when you have a simple engine and a simple car, mechanically speaking. Now, we haven't taken off the front suspension cross member, and that could be really buggered. Let's get the other wheels off. Pull these apart. What am I doing? Pull these apart. See, I mean, the actual rims themselves, I don't know how much they're worth and whether they might bugger up and be... Oh. Apparently, I am in part mounting mode at the moment. I think as I'm pulling this apart in a weird order. Like, I'm not used to having to do stuff in this particular manner. Oh, we've got to do this bugger, haven't we? Okay. So, we might actually be able to repair a couple of the tyres. Most of the wheels, let's have a look at how much those are worth. Tyres, I think it was just a standard tyre, wasn't it? Standard tyre, $60 each. Is not too bad. Standard tyre, yes it is, standard tyre. And then it is a rim retro 2. So rim classic, rim modern, rim retro 2. Oh, they're only $40. Now, of course, that price will change depending on the size of the size of the tyre, the size of the wheel, etc. that you want. But I'm working on a tiny little classic Japanese sports car, which has tiny wheels and fairly small tyres. So that's unlikely to be too expensive, and, yeah, I mean, they're 12-inch wheels with 155 tyres. And that's it on there. And none of this stuff, I don't think using any of these machines cost me any money. So we should be able to get, hopefully... Oh, that's paired, we've got... Oh, Perfect. Literally, we've got 2 tyres needed to buy, and that is it. I mean, I couldn't really ask for much better. In all of that, we do have interior to do. Okay, let's do I can't do interior until I've got wheels on the car, can I? I guess I might be able to. On this being a convertible, I can kind of work from the top. Let's go and have let's stick some stuff balancing, shall we? Take that. Install that. Let's get you balancing over there. Right, do we have any... Oh, of course, I'm not technically clicking on the car. Interior... Oh, this is going to be a real nightmare. Interior disassemble. Interior... The hitbox on this car is a little bit strange. So... like, that's going to be a real... How on earth do I do that, then? Because I've got to not look away from the... door, otherwise it goes away from the hitbox. It's real awkward to work on, but there we go. Okay, so we're going to need a couple of seats. I might just go and grab the Typhoon seats. They've tended to be better for the classic cars, although they might be expensive. Let's go interior shop. Seat. Right. I don't know how well some of the cars work with having different sorts of seats inside them. Oh, okay, the Typhoon seats are expensive. They're 500 each. I like them, but 500 is a fair bit. I did spot there's some more seats up here that look quite similar, but are only 300. So let's... Oh, maybe we'll only buy one, just in case it doesn't like it. Assemble, interior assemble, front left seat. Aha, fantastic. Okay. Don't know how on earth I'm ever putting that steering wheel on. That's gonna... that might be a fun one. And then we'll... what is the cheapest steering wheel we got? Well, we don't want... While I do want a cheap steering wheel, I want something that's at least half in fitting. That one there works. I've actually been using that one for a few of the builds so far. So, yeah, we'll stick with that. Okay, now, can we... we might be able to do... Oh, no, how on earth are we going to do that? Aha! Move across quick enough. That's I don't think that's quite how we should have to play the game, but apparently that is how we are having to play the game on this one. Right, let's get some wheels on here. 155 60R 12s. What we need for this, we'll go buy a couple of those. They're really not going to cost us very much money at all because they are such tiny, tiny tyres. Just kind of curious. Does this have? Oh, it doesn't quite have like the correct numbering around the tyre itself. I guess that's probably asking a bit too much of the game, but never mind. Right, 155 60 R12s. Well, what we needed. Gone into the wheel shop, which was unnecessary. Standard tyre. Yeah. On a sport standard tyre. That's the one. So we need R12s, 155 60. Wow, that's it. $162. I mean, we were really... I was really overestimating the amount of money that was going to be needed to repair these bloody cars. I guess then we ripped the front end out, work on this stuff. I was not at all expecting this to be the way that it goes. However, this might get expensive with the various bits inside here. Again, I was very, very lucky with all the back of the car being able to repair large amounts of it. Whether I will be able to repair as much of the front, shall wait to see. This has been... My brain is frazzled, apparently. The second video in a car mechanic thing is normally just putting everything back on, rather than taking stuff off. I'm doing it all in a wonky order. My brain is not, apparently not happy about it. As I was saying, yeah, if this lot here all comes off too broken for me to be able to fix, then we might have an issue. It's how that front suspension crossmember is going to fare will make a pretty sizable difference as well, as that can be a couple of grand, I think, for those. But we are still over 10 grand clear at the moment. We are over $10,000 left to spend on this rebuild. Hell, I might even be able to do this rebuild for 20 grand, including the price of the car. The car was only 5,000 and a bit. I can't quite remember how many it was, but it wasn't very much. So if this all goes smoothly in pulling these bits off, then that would be an additional bonus, an unexpected goal / achievement. And I've got rubber bushings, of course. 4 of these buggers. Then I mean the crossmember doesn't look promising, although I have seen worse rusty parts on cars. Like there are a couple of non-rust patches, so maybe there is just possibly the chance to save all of this. To the repair table we go. Please be lucky, please be lucky. I don't care about all of you bits. Haha! It is going to be repairable. Excellent. Right. We broke something, but don't really care too much. I think it was just a bearing or a bushing or something. Bugger! The one bit we needed. The one bit we needed, and we broke it. Well, I guess we're just going to spam click our way through all of these. Not done so well with repairing. I lost quite a few of the front bits of the car. Okay. It was crossmember B. Please don't be too expensive. Main shop. Crossmember B. Okay. Okay. Could be a lot worse. I was really expecting it to be in the thousands. It isn't. So we will be safe on that front for now. Sway bar, that was repaired. Rubber bushings, we have... Where have we got? Oh, of course, we got them from the upper and lower suspension arms. I was going to say, I did clear out my inventory, so there's no cheating, no leftovers from last time. But, of course, both the upper and lower suspension arms, I assume both of them will have rubber bushings. Now that I think about it, I can't remember if there's only one of them that does. I imagine they both would. We've got tie rods all from that side. Bottom suspension arm will have those. Okay, so we are going to need some rubber bushings on this. Axle cover as well. I mean, we're still miles clear in terms of money, which is good. And, oh, they're not going to be fun. Right, let's go get some vented brake discs. They're still not as terrible as I thought they could be. Rubber bushings, let's go grab... I think I'm going to need 4 of them. If I counted correctly with how many I had left. Possibly. We'll find out soon enough. Sway bar end links, we've got 1. Yeah, we've basically got a complete side of the car, but not much more out of that. But still, that's not too shabby, considering, again, this is a junkyard car. It's done pretty well on the whole repairable parts front. And that is all that corner done. Yeah, we're going to get this thing, I reckon, done maybe for 20 grand for the entire car. For the car and for the restoration work. Because the only bits we have left now to do are on this side. It is basically this entire... Oh, we have got the springs and all of that guff to do. Let's go pull that apart as well. Separate those. Oh, they might be repairable, though. Right, so we need inner tie rod, outer tie rod. We will need... we have got brake discs, but we will need... I believe we will need a pad. We will definitely need one of those. We have calipers. Don't know if we have the top and bottom join parts, separate parts. Yeah, don't know if we have top and bottom suspension arms over here. We need the steering knuckle regardless. Steering knuckle B. It was B, wasn't it? Steering knuckle B. Yeah, got to check when we're trying to do this on a rather tight budget. Got to check with all of these bits and pieces. Right, bottom suspension arm is good to go. Maybe it was upper suspension arm we didn't have then. Upper suspension arm is not good. No, we haven't got one of those either. Okay. Upper suspension arm, we needed the knuckle cover bit. Front axle knuckle cover. Don't know if we have some of the interior bits on this. We might have done. We might have had the wheel hub. Yeah, we did. Cool. Bearings. Might be asking a bit too much. Yeah. Should have made a better list of stuff that we needed, but I didn't. I never do remember to make a proper list of stuff that we need for the car. Brake pads got, caliper we have got, and one of those as well. Excellent. And wheel hub cap we don't have. Wheel hub cap, that's the one. Well, when we are done with this particular vehicle, the tuning DLC that has come out, and we will finally get to go work on the big old boat. We will make the fastest boat that we possibly can make. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing just how much power we can get out of it. I am hoping for plenty. I'm not necessarily expecting to get, 800-900 horsepower out of it. However, I would like to be able to get plenty of power out of the big old boat, because it has been a faithful car. It has done a lot of good work for us. Everything from the shock absorbers. That's definitely been, I think, the luckiest I've ever been in terms of shock absorber parts. Like, I don't think I've ever been able to get every single bit be repairable. Even with, I've said many times before, but in case you are, new to me playing this game, I have a repair anything mod installed that will allow me to repair considerably more parts. Some would argue that it's a little bit silly with some of the bits that you can repair, and I would agree to an extent, but in general it makes the game a little bit more entertaining, having the ability to repair a larger number of parts and kind of salvage parts, etc. And I don't think I've ever been able to repair an entire sort of shock absorber in that way. Let's take those, balance that one up, and then install the other wheels, because I completely forgot about needing to do those. I kind of got distracted because I kept thinking that we were going to have to buy something. Something was going to cost us a lot more money to fix up, and it's just not. Just nothing has really taken that much money to fix up here. That can come off. You can go and do the balancy stuff. Right. Then we have wheels on this side. And it's all done. I think we have a number plate for the front, and then it's inadvertently ended up as a full restoration. Typical. I don't know if I get a number plate. I'll be curious. If I buy a number plate and stick it, like just a generic number plate, and stick it on the front of this, because there's a number plate on the back as well, whether it's then going to have two separate, I guess, numbers on the number plates. I'll be curious. What are we missing? Just the front license plate? Is that it? Oh, interior needs a clean. That's only going to cost $100, so we'll do that one. Okay, so it's an Alabama plate that we have on the back. License plates, of course. Right, so we just need one of those. That's only $90. We're still plenty clear enough on this. Oh, that's what we want. Front license plate. No, I think that has put it as the same one as the rear. Yes, it does. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, I guess if I got custom number plate, it would then have potentially two different numbers on it. But either way it works. Use the equipment. Oh, use. Yes, that should now have that at 100. 100. Well, turns out the little Honda S800, while it is only going to be worth, I say only going to be worth $25,000, it has cost me considerably less. The car itself was $5,000, and we have got left over $6,000, essentially, give or take a few hundred. So the $19,000 is essentially how much we paid for the car and the full restoration work on it. So we by far beat our budget. Now, we didn't make a massive profit on this car. It is only worth $25,000, so we've made $6,000-ish on the car. So it's not the best that we have ever that you would have ever made on a vehicle. I mean, just welding the frame on that Daytona it cost me what, $500,000 to buy. Welding the frame on that will put it up to $2 million or something. So yeah. That's definitely a better value investment, but the Honda is done. Now, what we are going to do is, can we move it to the places already in use? There's something in the dyno room? Because the dyno room is now a thing, is a new thing. Maybe I have to go in here for the first time or something to... Maybe it doesn't work at the moment. I don't know, I thought the dyno was supposed to be working, but something might not be letting it work. I might have broken something along the way. Well, I guess we're not going to go take it to the dyno room. We are going to go take it to the racetrack, because I'm curious to see if the performance has improved on the little Honda. Fingers crossed, it might be a bit quicker to drive. I have to say, I do feel incredibly low sat inside the S800. To be expected, it is a tiny car in comparison to just about everything else I would have driven. Right, people weren't wrong. People weren't wrong with the ruined driveline, essentially, that we had in the car. Yeah, that severely affects performance. I mean, that's good to know. You would expect it to, but I wasn't really sure how Car Mechanic Simulator would work with that. And the answer is, yeah, it really does. So if you have a ruined diff, a ruined drive shaft, and all of that kind of stuff, it is going to make your car quite unhappy and rather slow to drive. This is much more like the performance you would want from the vehicle. This is kind of, well, I mean, I've always been and always will love racing slow cars. You get some of the best racing you will ever do are in cars with the minuscule amount of horsepower. Makes for excellent racing and it's good fun to throw around the circuit, and this is kind of on the perfect end of the spectrum. I mean, it's nippy enough to be exciting. Plenty of grip, good handling. I'm currently stuck driving on a keyboard. My wired Xbox controller is the other side of the office, and I was too lazy to go and get it. So I forgot it wasn't plugged in. So I'm stuck with this on a keyboard, and even on a keyboard, this is good fun to throw around. I mean, we're probably going to have issues coming up towards this braking zone. It's probably going to violently veer to the left. We're up to 178 kilometers an hour, which I don't know what it means in proper, but there we go. Oh wow, it's only slightly veering to the left, rather than the normal violent throw the car off the track. Now the Shelby did a lap time around here in 57 seconds, which, let's face it, we've not got the power to beat the Shelby. The Daytona was, oh god, we've not got the power and we've not got the composure. The issue with the car, of course, it is very low, very, very light, and the curbs here are vicious. The curbs are vicious to everything, but it's extra bumpy in a car like this. I'm pretty sure we clonked the underside of the vehicle. Probably shouldn't be throwing this car around quite so much, having just spent all of the time, not so much the money, but all of the time on the restoration work here, and we're just going to scrape or destroy most of the underside of the car across the curbs. Oh, right, we're going to have one more chance to try and find, or I say to try and find some lap speed to get a lap out of the car. We'll have to have a leaderboard of all the vehicles that go around here. It's, yeah, not going to be, unsurprisingly, it'll be anywhere near the Shelby. What was the I think the first cars I drove, like the RX-7 and a couple of other vehicles, were a real handful. I think they were in the 1 minute 3s, 4s, and so on. Also, interestingly, cars only got 4 gears. Didn't know that some of the vehicles, some of the gearboxes didn't have a full complement of gears. Didn't know that vehicles, yeah, were going to be limited to a number of gears. That's quite a cool little thing. I also drove awfully. In me trying not to launch it into the air across the curbs, I've now gone really, really slowly. I mean, I guess that's... we didn't get fired into the scenery, so that's a bonus. Yeah, I like this car. It's kind of, as I would expect, very much my sort of vehicle to go driving. I do like the S800 to mess around with on Forza. It's not quite the same when you don't have the crazy revvy engine, and that's just, well, because this mod is made with the engines that there are available in the game. You don't have the 10,000 RPM i4 that the actual does the S800 have an i4? I know it's a tiny capacity. It's what, 660cc. It might not even be a 4-cylinder, but yeah, we don't have that as an engine option in the game. So it's missing the buzzy craziness of all of those RPMs. A 114.5 I don't think is too terrible. However, otherwise it's a great fun little car to drive. I really quite like it. Well, there we go. Yeah, performance considerably better. It is now faster than walking pace. Quite considerably faster than walking pace, and we could even have some proper celebratory donuts and probably fill everywhere with smoke in a minute. There's some decent celebratory donuts from the... That's better than quite a lot of cars that have gone recently in terms of celebratory donuts. The Shelby, was it Shelby that couldn't do this because it had too much grip to properly do celebratory donuts? Or just fill the smoke full of, fill the screen full of Honda smoke, and it's not engine smoke either, like the Formula 1 cars. Well, there we go. $19,000 for the entire restoration. I'm fairly damn pleased with that as an outcome. Wasn't expecting it to be to go that way, to pan out quite like that, but there we go. I think we'll have to get a lot stricter in terms of budget when I try this again. The next time we're going to be making a monster boat, so that should be good fun. That was going to be it for this video. As ever, I shall link all the mods used in the description so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.